Welcome, everybody, to another March Madness betting special. I'm your host, Mike Goodpaster. Today, we're going to look at a battle between the Auburn Tigers, the number one team in the country, as they battled the Creighton Blue Jays, who were coming off a dominating performance against the Louisville Cardinals. Now, Auburn has struggled. All right, they've lost 4 of their last 5 games, I think it was, or lost 3 of their last 4 through the end of the season. They have not played with the passion or the intensity that they did most of the season. Now, it didn't matter against Alabama State, but against Alabama State, that was an uninspiring performance. Alabama State hung with them for a little bit over a half before Auburn finally pulled away for the 20-point victory. Now, there wasn't any fear of losing for Auburn, and it played like it for far too long. If it plays like that against this Creighton team, they're going to lose. Creighton was quietly good down the stretch of the season. Over the second half of the season, they went 15-4. Those 4 losses were to St. John's twice, UConn, and Xavier, all teams that are still alive. Now, it buried Louisville right away in an easy 89-75 win in Lexington. And now it's looking to do something even more special. And that's beat the number 1 rated overall Auburn Tigers. Now, why can Creighton win this game? Well, it has size. This isn't a great defensive team, but it has the big guys to hold up against Johni Broome and the Tiger interior, especially on the boards. The Blue Jays were 3rd in the nation this season in defensive boards, and it dominated Louisville on the defensive glass. Now, the Cardinals were missing early. Jemiah Neal and Ryan Kalkbrenner cleaned up everything. And then the Creighton offense just exploded all over Louisville. Now, Auburn fouls a ton. Creighton is number 1 in the nation in fewest fouls. So you got to expect that Creighton will have an advantage at the free throw line in this game just by sheer volume of free throws taken. Now, the Auburn defense from 3 is going to decide this game. This team might be sputtering a bit right now, but the aggressiveness on defense is still there. Creighton isn't all about the 3, but kick it inside to the big guys. If it's not there, kick it back out. Open 3, bang. When that's working, everything else kicks in for the Blue Jays. But the Blue Jays went 5-5 this season with failing to hit more than 7 threes, and were 4-8 when they didn't make at least 30% from the outside. Auburn was 7th in the nation in 3-point defense, allowing just 29% from 3. Now, who wins this game? Who wins this game is probably different than the point spread. Creighton is going to score. Betting Auburn minus 9.5, the way they're playing right now, to me, is very iffy. Now, Creighton has the ability to hang with Auburn on both sides of the floor, but it doesn't force enough mistakes. The Tigers will make more consistent use of its possessions than they did over the SEC finishing kick. The other thing to remember is this: Auburn is not Louisville. Louisville is in the ACC, not a very good conference. Louisville is not as battle-tested as Auburn is. Now, Louisville's not as battle-tested, I don't think, as Creighton is. Now, to pull this off, I think Creighton has to hit at least 47% of his shots. It's 21-0 when doing that. The fact that they've actually hit 47% or more of their shots in 21 games will tell you this team is definitely capable of doing this in a big situation. Auburn has allowed just 5 teams to get there all season, though. This is going to be a fight, but I think Auburn will win in a true survive and battle fashion. If I'm betting this game, though, I'm going to take Creighton in the 9.5 points. If I'm betting the money line, which I would bet a lot on to make this pay off, I would bet Auburn. I think Auburn beats Creighton 79-73. I think Auburn will advance to the next round of the NCAA tournament. But I do give Creighton a 35 to 40% chance of winning this game. Now, a lot of that is because of how poorly Auburn has played as of late. But I think this is going to be a close game through most of the way. I don't think it's going to be a 15 or 20-point blowout. All right, guys, if you want to bet the top sports book for betting on March Madness, go check out BetMGM. BetMGM has great lines. They have quick payouts, and they have very good customer service. Check them out by clicking on the link in the description down below if you're watching on YouTube. Also, If you're watching on YouTube, hit the bell notification, subscribe to our channel, follow us. Make sure you check out thegruelingtruth.com. And if you go to X, check us out at Grueling Truth. All right, guys, for now, I'm Mike Goodpaster. You've been watching and listening to The Grueling Truth, where the legends speak.